Hello everyone, welcome to Hugar Social Academy. I'm your mentor Srikanth Hugar. In our previous session, we have understood about the what does personal finance mean, what does public finance as well as the private finance it means. Moreover, we have learned about the importance of the public finance as well as the budget. The budget in the form of surplus budget, deficit budget, balanced budget. Today, my dear viewers, for you, there is one more session I have brought from the topic called as public finance and budget. And the topic is about the public expenditure. It's about public expenditure, it is. Before going to start regarding the public expenditure, I would like to say you that in this present 21st century, we are seeing that all the number of nations are being competing with each other. Every nation want to develop. So keeping that in mind, every nation tries to improve its revenue from the different sources, and with the help of that revenue it spends the money on the different infrastructure wherever it is a need of development. The purpose of doing this is only and only one purpose: to make the nation to be developed economically. Economically, if it is been developed, socially, automatically it will be developed. The lifestyle, which we calculate in the form of per capita income, which improves the standard of living. If it is good, then only. If it is not, then it is not. So here, this topic called as public finance and budget speaks, teaches us regarding the different sources of expenditure which has been done by the government. So let us begin our topic with the public expenditure. Now the word is public and another word is expenditure. Public expenditure, it refers to the spend of the money by the government on different areas like agriculture, industry, for the economic development, for the welfare of the state. We call it as a public expenditure. But this public expenditure, further it is been divided into two parts. One called as a revenue expenditure and another one called as a capital expenditure. Now by this chart I will make you to understand neatly about what does this revenue expenditure want to say to us, what does this capital expenditure mean, what does this planned expenditure it consists, non-planned what it consists, in the capital expenditure what plan consists, what non-planned it consists. Okay, let us begin one by one. Okay, it's a revenue expenditure, the part of which one? Part of the public expenditure. So the expenditure incurred by the government, incurred refers to accepted. Okay, by the government. Now it has to be accepted. Why it has to be accepted? It's because the money has to spend on the different infrastructure. So the money which incurred by the government, the money incurred by the government from the sources of revenue, from the sources of revenue, there are many number of sources are there from where the money is being collected. Money is being collected, and the money which is being collected, once again it is being spent on the way on the public itself. Okay, a small example to be say, taxes. The taxes which are being collected, and the taxes, we know that the taxes are being collected in a different forms, like open land tax, on the goods, service and tax, water tax, electricity tax. Okay, in this form, different forms of taxes are being collected. Okay, so these all taxes will help the government to invest the money for once again for the development of the public itself. So we call it as a revenue expenditure. This revenue expenditure again it is divided into two parts: planned expenditure and non-planned expenditure. Okay, the word is planned expenditure. This planned expenditure again divided into central plan expenditure, state plan expenditure, centrally planned state expenditure. It is. Let us first understand what is this planned expenditure. Okay, again the expenditure incurred by the government towards the financially and social service. Okay, it's a planned it is. See the word is what? It's a plan in the sense the whatever the project are going to be done with the proper planning it will be done. Okay, and according to that plan how much of budget is been required for the development of that much of money will be what it will be spent. Okay, it is overall nation building. It's overall about which one? About the nation building it is. We call it as a planned expenditure. In this planned expenditure, we are having central plan expenditure. Okay. We are having state plan expenditure and we are having centrally planned state expenditure. Central plan expenditure, it is related to all the number of 28 states. Okay. In the last session, I said budget, which is being prepared the financial year April 1st to 31st of the March. Okay, the finance minister of India who puts forward the budget, who allows the budget for the different infrastructure from the primary, secondary to the tertiary sector. Okay, that which boost the economy of the country. So it's a central plan expenditure purely to the central sector. Okay, it is having 28 states under it. So he prepares a plan related to the, all the number of states existed in the country overall India. Okay, another side it is a state plan expenditure. Here also state because autonomous power is being given by the constitution, where the state for its development he can prepare its own budget. Okay, and every year state also prepares the budget in the form of the central, but there will be a lot difference between the economy of the central economy of the state. So state plan expenditure will be for the state, then centrally planned state expenditure. Apart from this, we are having union territories are being there. Okay, these union territories also come under the where under the central part. So there also expenditure is been what it is been done. So in this way, planned expenditure is divided into central, state as well as the centrally planned. Okay. Then in that central plan expenditure, again it's a financial, social, general it is. It's a financial, social, general. It's a financial expenditure, social expenditure, as well as the general expenditure. Now, when we talk about financial expenditure, what would be the different areas where the focus will be given? Different areas where focus will be given in the financial expenditure. Okay. To be given example, we are having a very best example for the financial is our agriculture sector. Agriculture sector, agriculture related things or agriculture related activities, transportation, communication, industries, there the expenditure is been done because see industry, agriculture is dependent on industry, industry is dependent on agriculture, service is dependent on industry as well as agriculture. So all three are matched with or tagged with each other. So financial service focuses on the development of these areas. Okay. Overall, we can say the rural development also regarding the science, regarding the technology. These all comes under the way under the financial expenditure. When we talk about social expenditure, see the word is what? It's a social. It's a social development. And when we talk about social development, there is a most important development of that individual in the form of health. Health. care, providing the proper education facilities, family welfare programs, housing schemes, drinking water facilities, proper drainage facilities, proper road facilities comes under the social expenditure. Okay, these expenditures helps in the way in the development of an once again of an individual. For example, if I am having the house or you are having the house, in front of your house, if proper supply of electricity, proper roads, proper drinking facility, proper drainage facilities, right, if it is been there, then you are been in the form of developed. So it's a social expenditure. Another side, if you talk general expenditure, okay, now this is the apart from the financial as well as the social, it's because sometimes the situation comes where the government has to maintain proper law and order. So for the maintenance of the proper law and order, okay, their money has to be spent. Now, for example, you might have studied in the sociology topic regarding the riots, okay, when mob converts into the violent form, and sometimes it becomes impossible to the administration also to control due to less servants for to overcome over it. So at that time, at that situation, the extra forces will be called from the other areas. So when extra forces are being called here, so definitely maintenance automatically increases in the form of whether settlement of them, whether providing the food facility to them, or extra salary to be added. Those all come under the where under the general expenditure. Comes under where under the general expenditure. Okay. Now this was totally related to the plan. Now one more we are having topic called as a non-planned expenditure. It's a non-planned it is. These all are planned. Where what to be done. In what form it has to be done. But this is non-planned. Before saying this, let me give a small example. Like think that the budget, everything is being prepared smoothly, everything is been going on. Suddenly, a bus with a passenger of near about 30 people moving to the pilgrimage place, and suddenly the bus met with the accident which caused what it is that 20 of the passengers are being killed, others 10 which are there, some are normal injured, some are 50% of injury it is been seen. In such cases, whether it is a central government or state government announces the money in the form of like for the death where took place to that family 10 lakh rupees, those who are injured for them 1 lakh rupees with the medical facilities, and those who are normally injured medical facilities in this form. Okay, so that we don't know, nor I know, nor you know, nor the government knows that when what type of incident is going to happen. So when such things happen, so definitely some of the money has to be spent on it. Okay, non-planned expenditure. Now here is the same example of civil expenditure which I have given you. Defense expenditure, sometimes sudden attack. Again, there is a need of we can't stop saying that the bullets are been finished. So let us stop the war now here only. We can't say that we have to fight it. So some extra expenditure has to be done. Interest payment is there. Sometimes government hires, state government or the central government hires the money from the way from the Reserve Bank of India. So it has to be interest payment. It has to be done. Okay, aid to states. Sometimes the flood erodes, earthquake happens, volcano erupts, okay, tsunami occurs. So in such cases the loss of the life as well as the property, for that aid is nothing but it's a package. Okay, place grants. Okay, so granting will be done in the form of whether the lands will be given to the state government, okay, or in the form of finance will be given. So grant is also in the form of aid it is. So these come under the where under the non-planned expenditure. So These are the part of revenue expenditure. Okay, once again I will repeat you. Revenue expenditure divided in two part: planned as well as non-planned. Planned expenditure where central plan expenditure, state plan expenditure, centrally planned expenditure. For the lack of the space, so I have just underlined so you can understand, but it doesn't mean that incomplete word is been written. Just to little bit space to make you to know everything in just one piece of a board. So words little bit I have made it small. So state plan expenditure, centrally plan expenditure, in the central plan expenditure, financial expenditure, social as well as the general. Whereas in the non-planned expenditure, civil, defense, interest, aid to state, place, grants. In the same way, there is one more part of the public expenditure called as a capital expenditure. It's a capital expenditure now. Okay, right? Those were related to which one? Related to the revenue expenditure. Now it's about the capital expenditure. Now capital expenditure, what it says that the money spent by the government, the money spent by the government on subjects like agriculture, industry, transportation, communication, electricity, irrigation projects, making of the canals, these all, okay, come under the where? Under the capital expenditure. Come under where? Under the capital expenditure. Okay, for or to create a new assets, to create a new assets, come under the capital expenditure. This capital expenditure again divided into plan expenditure and non-plan expenditure. Planned and non-planned. Okay, and in the planned expenditure, see the subjects what they are there. Again in the planned expenditure, where the subjects like expenditure has been done for the development purpose of agriculture, industry, transportation, irrigation projects like these. In the same way, when we come to the non-planned expenditure, compensation to people affected by the development projects. Like one example I said regarding the accident. Now this we will take one more example. We will take about the development projects. Now, like the road is going to be constructed or the canal is has to be constructed. So when canal has to be constructed, canal it need a path. So definitely it has to pass from the open land areas. So when we talk about land areas, then those comes under the agriculture. So one or other person will be the owner of that area, and the canal has to be taken from that area itself, from that area, so that everyone can take the use of it. Okay, so when such comes, so definitely if the land is been taken for the canal preparation, then the land which has been before the making of the canal, which was used for the agriculture purpose, right, will be not used. So definitely it will be lost to the home, to the farmer, lost to the farmer. So in at such time, say development projects, canal is a development project. Okay, in such cases, the government pays a money to the farmer, okay, regarding that land which is been taken by the government for the preparation of the development project called as a canal. Clear, right? So in like that, there are many development projects have been taken place, takes place. So at such time, the government pays the compensation for it. Compensation, we call it as a compensation. So in this way, non-planned expenditure. So capital expenditure, in that plan expenditure, what it comes: agriculture, industry, transportation, irrigation projects. Okay, plan. Non-planned, which has been compensation to people affected by the development projects. In this form, our public expenditure is being said. Okay, so repeat. I will repeat the chart. Public expenditure divided into two part: revenue as well as the capital. In the revenue, planned as well as the non-planned. In the planned, central plan, state plan, centrally planned. The plan consists of financial, social, general. This side non-planned, it consists of civil, defense, interest, aid to state, place, grants. Another side capital expenditure, plan expenditure as well as the non-planned. And planned expenditure subjects like agriculture, industry, transport, irrigation projects. And in the non-planned, compensation to people affected by the development projects. So in this form, what it has been given, our public expenditure is what it has been given. Hope you have understood regarding the chart. And let me come with one more new topic. called as public revenue in my next session, and I will let you to know the different sources of revenue which is being collected by the state government or by the central government, and how it is been collected, in what form it is been collected. So in my next session I will come with the topic called as a public revenue. Hope you have understood, and I always say to my dear viewers that be tuned up to the end of the video, which will help you to know about properly about that concepts, and to make easily to understand the concepts. And don't forget to share, like, as well as subscribe. Make others to be the part of the Ugar Social Academy. Let me come with one more new session in the next upcoming days. Thank you.